So I do want to explain the Joan Garcia situation, and it states here, according to Roger Torreo, that Joan Garcia is set to meet with his agents this week to make a decision about his future. Despite the recent reports, he hasn't ruled out a move to FC Barcelona. He's looking for the best option and doesn't want to join another club on loan. He is determined to be the first choice goalkeeper where he goes. If Joan Garcia agrees to move, Barcelona are prepared to trigger his 25 million euro release clause. And then we do have Alex Pintanel, who has claimed that Barcelona have decided to go all out for Joan Garcia. His agents are in favor of him joining FC Barcelona, but ultimately the decision will be made by the player himself, who currently has several offers on the table. Even Joan Garcia earlier today came out with an interview and he stated, and I quote, "In football, news is out all the time and many things are said, but not all of what is said turns out to be true. I'm very calm. As for FC Barcelona, what I have to decide, I will decide with the people close to me, and we will choose what is best for me." Now, I know that Joan Garcia has the intention to go to a new club where he is the first priority, and FC Barcelona have to show that. And I believe that that is where Barcelona is going, because if we look at what happened between Barcelona and Szczęsny as of late, Barcelona proposed a 1 to 2 year contract extension to Szczęsny, and Szczęsny recently just agreed to this renewal with Barcelona. And so Szczęsny states here, according to No.1 Marc-André, that he has accepted Barcelona's renewal offer, and so Szczęsny will be staying. And we have Ferran Martinez, who has claimed every scenario is still open with Joan Garcia. There's also no shortage of other options for FC Barcelona. And so Szczęsny has responded to Barcelona's renewal offer, and he is set to stay at the club, and he is more than happy to be the second choice goalkeeper for the coming season, meaning that Barcelona, now knowing that they have placed Szczęsny on another 1 to 2 seasons for sure, right? Szczęsny will be the second choice, and now it's going to be up to Barcelona, Joan Laporta, Deco, Hansi Flick to decide who is going to be the first choice. And if Barcelona truly are going to be going after Joan Garcia, like the reports do state, and we're seeing that Szczęsny has been extended and they're happy with his services, it does mean that Ter Stegen might be leaving in the summer, because I just don't see how Barcelona is going to move forward with Joan Garcia, Szczęsny, and Ter Stegen, 3 first choice goalkeepers, and first choice goalkeepers who are good enough to start in any club. And I want to add more emphasis on Ter Stegen for us to understand just why I believe it's a bad idea to have Joan Garcia, Szczęsny, and Ter Stegen in one squad. Because first of all, okay, like let's look back at what Ter Stegen has been through in terms of wages. That is the most important conversation. Bro, in 2014, when he initially did sign with FC Barcelona, he signed a 5-year contract until June 2019. His buyout clause was 80 million euros. And then 3 years later, in 2017, he became the main goalkeeper for FC Barcelona for sure. Like nobody was able to touch Ter Stegen at that time. And I remember at that time, everybody praised Ter Stegen because of his amazing performances through 2016, 17, 18, and 19 especially. And this new deal that he signed back in 2017, it gave him a salary of 8 million euros net per year. It did reflect his growing importance and performances in key matches. We move on towards 2020, another 3 years later. He extended his contract until June 2025. There's a reason why his contract at that time was extended. That is because they wanted to defer his wages. But bro, like when he agreed to this salary extension, I mean, not salary extension, this contract extension, he, according to Manca, he agreed to earn 18 million euros net per year, making him the highest paid goalkeeper globally, right? Like no other goalkeeper at that time earned more than him, and it was intended to gradually increase year by year. But then the COVID-19 situation hit, the pandemic, Barcelona's wage bill was exceeding 850 million euros, which is insane, because now that we think about it, you know, like right now our wage bill is like at 280 or like 380, around that range. But at that time in 2020, we had a wage bill of 840 million euros. That is insane. And Ter Stegen was a big part of that wage bill. And it's insane because, you know, 3 years later, after 2020, he had another contract extension until June 2028, and the reason why we extended him another 4 to 5 years until 2028 is because they wanted to make some financial adjustments, because Joan Laporta realized that whatever Ter Stegen was earning over the past 4 to 5 years, at that time in 2023, 18 million euros net per year is just too much. And so his salary reportedly adjusted downward, which helped La Liga's financial fair play. Ter Stegen said, "It's okay, you guys can defer my wages. Do not worry." So he agreed to defer a significant portion of his wages to 2027, 2028, and so forth. And his new release clause at that time in 2023 was set at 500 million euros. Now the thing is, right, is his current salary in this season and moving on towards the next one is 6.3 million euros. But here's the thing: nobody is talking about his deferred wages that he is owed in the coming years, right? Like, if we let go of Ter Stegen this summer, is Barcelona going to be 100% obligated to pay out the remaining of his salary? That is going to be the biggest worry. And can Joan Laporta afford that? Or do we see a situation where Ter Stegen says, "I forgive the remaining amount, those deferred wages that was supposed to be owed to me, what I agreed upon 3 to 4 years ago, that can all be erased. Do not worry, I'll leave like a gentleman." So like, there's a situation there. And that is a situation that nobody has been talking about. Let's just say, screw it. Let's just say that those deferred wages are neglected. Even if we just say we're going to just pay you the remaining amount of 6.3 million euros of those next 3 years until 2028, that's still like 18, 19, 20 million euros that Barcelona have to pay out. That's still a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So it's a difficult situation. And once again, yes, it's 6.3 million euros in salary. There is deferred wages, but even if he does leave this summer, you have to pay the remaining amount unless there is a total agreement between Ter Stegen, the agent, and FC Barcelona. And that is why I'm saying, like, it's so difficult, right? That should we just ignore it and just stay with Ter Stegen, Szczęsny, and Joan Garcia? But then again, that also does not make any sense. Why the hell would you have 3 total goalkeepers that are really good and want to have a starting position? I mean, like, Szczęsny doesn't care. He can be on the bench, smoke a cigarette, whatever. But like, what was the whole point of you going up to Szczęsny and saying that I want to extend you for another 1 to 2 years? If you know that it is hard for you to let go of Ter Stegen and you want Joan Garcia. So there's a bit of confusion going on there. Now, stepping away from that, let's go to the goalkeeper requirements. Like, all in all, okay, no matter what happens, no matter whether we stay with 3 goalkeepers or 2 goalkeepers and whoever that may be, all in all, what is going to be the goalkeeper requirements? Like, what do Barcelona need at the back for us to succeed and have better control at the back? Point number 1, shot stopping ability, for sure. That is the most 100% requirement for any goalkeeper that wants to start at FC Barcelona. There's a reason why Szczęsny has been so praised over the past 9 months, is because this guy is one hell of a shot stopper. He has great abilities in that. Like, Barcelona conceded, okay, and they concede few shots per game. They do, and we have seen that through stats and data over the past 9 months. But they are often receiving high quality chances that lead towards goals. Like, those chances that they get that goes against them, they're extremely high quality. There's like an 85% chance that it ends up being a goal. So we need a goalkeeper that has great shot stopping ability and consistently making saves and has standout abilities in critical moments. Point number 2, mental strength. We need a strong personality, strong confidence type of goalkeeper, and the ability to recover from mistakes. Let's say, for example, let's just say Szczęsny or Joan Garcia. If they make a mistake, they make a pass to Inigo Martinez, but it gets intercepted by one of the strikers because that pass from Joan Garcia or Szczęsny was just too slow, and you end up conceding a goal because of your mistake. You need to be able to have a strong mentality and say, "Oh my God, like, I made a mistake, but I can overcome that. I'm not going to lower my confidence. I'm not going to be shy. I'm just going to continue with my game and have great leadership and great composure, and to continue to just run my defensive line and organize my defensive line." So that's point number 2. Point number 3, great penalty area control. You must dominate during corner kicks. You must dominate during free kicks. You must dominate during the those crowded areas. When, let's just say, for example, we face PSG and Dembele makes a cross from the right flank and into the box, and you see like 4 to 5 PSG players in your box. You want to be able to command your control inside those moments there. Those quick reactions to crosses, long shots, and close range attempts are essential. Point number 4, good footwork. You need good footwork, like especially at Barcelona, when we see Inigo Martinez or Cubarsí or Jules Koundé or Alejandro Balde receive the ball and they need you, the goalkeeper, to be available, and they pass it back to you, and you see the pressing going up against you, whether it's Real Madrid, Bayern, City, whoever it may be, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid. If they're pressing you extremely hard, you as a goalkeeper need to be great in your footwork. You need to be able to handle pressure, build from the back, and play short or long passes. That is very important, and we all know this. It's a total requirement. And then point number 5, tactical fit. You need to have that you need to be, Barcelona often defends high up the pitch, so the goalkeeper should be quick off the line, okay, to close down the space and stop counterattacks. Szczęsny has been put in those predicaments so many times, and he has done phenomenally well. You have to time your runs perfectly and be quick off your line. When we see, I like to paint real world scenarios. Like, for example, if Valverde makes a long pass to Kylian Mbappe, and it's Mbappe versus the goalkeeper has to come out fast. But I mean fast. You need a quick takeoff. And if Joan Garcia can give us that, then so be it. That is great. Joan Garcia, to me, has excellent positioning and reactions. He is strong in 1v1s and in the air. Great area control. There's confidence during his pressure situations. Is good. The only concerns that I have is that there needs to be more improvement in his footwork, which I believe he can develop if he were to join FC Barcelona and join our preseason. And I would also say the passing from the back also needs to improve. All of those things can greatly be improved in 4 to 5 to 6 weeks time, as long as you have that, I would just say, chemistry with your defensive line. And that can greatly be built during the summer, because you're not going to be called up for the Nations League and participate in those preseason matches. His release clause, once again, is going to be 25 million euros. It's a bargain of a price, and he is considered as one of the best in LaLiga right now. So if Barcelona do get Joan Garcia, this is going to be one hell of a buy. 25 million euros is very cheap, and this is a player that can for sure develop his game and progress his game even more. If you guys have been hearing about a player named I believe it's like Lucas Chevalier or something like that from France. Yes, there has been some conversations about that coming from Carlos Montfort. He has stated that Lucas is also on Barcelona's list for the goalkeeper position, but he is said to have other more interesting offers on the table. So keep a eye on a player like Lucas coming from France, because he is a player that Barcelona in some way are a little interested, but their main priority, it is Joan Garcia. We have seen Lucas as a goalkeeper who is aggressive. He has an aggressive style with quick reactions and good anticipation, effective in one-on-one using both arms and feet. He has a lot of Champions League experience and good passing ability. So yeah, that is basically it, right? That is going to be the conclusion. Barcelona needs a young, affordable, and mentally strong goalkeeper who can make critical saves in tough moments, can play under pressure and control the penalty box, is confident with the ball, but prioritizes shot stopping. Joan Garcia does fit these categories, and as of now, I just want to see more clarity on the future of Ter Stegen, because I don't see a future where Barcelona can have Ter Stegen, Szczęsny, and Joan Garcia in one squad. It just doesn't make any sense. We have not even heard anything about Peña, so a lot of conversations need to go on. Barcelona have to have their situation fixed and then present that situation and that sporting plan to Joan Garcia, and Joan Garcia, I'm sure, will accept that sporting plan, and hopefully he becomes our #1 goalkeeper moving forward. So that is it. That is going to be wrapped up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.